Okay, good evening and welcome to Wrestling on KSIR 1010 and KSIR.com. Dave Yerrick walked by and I handed him the headphones and he didn't run away. So good to have you here, Dave.
Hey, this is exciting. Thanks.
Yeah.
Haven't had a chance to join you in a wrestling match, but I remember doing a lot of football games with you.
Yeah, football was fun. We were at all the wrestling matches and you were just coach.
Yeah, that's right.
You miss it?
Yeah, I do.
Do
Still
you?
miss it. Yeah. I don't always miss the practices, but like nights like this when you have the chance to compete, and boy, there's nothing like it when you know you got a good bunch of tough kids and you know you prepared right and you're excited about seeing them go out and perform. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, the kids is what it's all about,
Yep.
Seeing them grow and seeing that hard work pay off.
Yep, you see those kids come in as a freshman and small and scared, and then all of a sudden by the time they're a senior, they're a state placer or a state champ, and it's awesome.
Let's see, we've got Bryce Thomas, Andrea Perini from University, and Bryce out here in front of the crowd the first time.
We'll get started off first with the JV match.
And he's got to wrestle a girl. Uh-oh.
Immediately to follow in the 132.
Well, that's not always bad. It's just kind of hard on a guy if he loses. But I'll tell you what, girl wrestling's really picked up across the state, and a lot of tournaments that used to be small for girls are getting bigger and bigger all the time. And we have some Pee Wee girls right here from Brush and Fort Morgan that compete in wrestling all the time at the boy and girl level.
Okay, do you know Bryce?
No, I don't. I don't remember Bryce.
Okay, then they square off. Bryce with brush down the back in white letters with the maroon, gold, and yellow stripes. Then a shot there by Bryce Thomas. He picks it up, trying a little trip, and over goes Perini. He's got the 2-point takedown for the Beat Diggers. And he's working a 2-on-1 is under there.
Yeah, it looks like he's got her wrist. He's looking for that tilt, trying to get that wrist controlled so he can get his elbow in the crotch there and then dive underneath and get that roll through tilt that Chad Romero made famous.
And Chad's still working in the room, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so, off and on. And he's got youngsters of his own now that are involved at the Pee Wee level.
Yeah, he's really eating that up. He's still working at 2-on-1, but
Perini's not doing too much on bottom. She's having a hard time clearing her arm, and her free hand, she's keeping it on the mat. So, because he's got so much pressure on her, she's not able to reach up and peel his hand off.
40 seconds left here in the first period. This is a JV match. Brush Beat Diggers taking on the University Bulldogs.
Bryce has got that stubby over here on this side with his right leg. He's got it wrapped around her ankle, and that's one of the things that's helping him keep her down. But he's wrestling right there on the edge of the mat, and he's able to drive her back towards the middle and keep her from crawling out of bounds.
I would really hope that maybe they could expand it and have girls only wrestling each other. I think it's down the road, maybe.
Well, it's getting bigger and bigger. Right here in Brush, extra help that we have is Cody Fowl. She's competed at the collegiate level there in Oklahoma City, and also doing a lot of international level and national level freestyle.
Yeah, I was hoping she'd make the Olympic team. I think she had a shot at it, didn't she?
Yeah. Yep. She's working at it.
And she's working in the Beat Diggers room, and that's awesome.
Yep. So Perini with the toss. Dave Ritchie, the referee, flipped the coin, and she wins the toss and chooses neutral.
Of course, University in that dark blue singlet with a white bulldog on the back.
The University's had some real good wrestlers over the years, but I expect them to be a little bit down tonight. They had Cody Cole, a former Beat Diggers, their coach, and he's a great coach. He knows what he's doing. He's a good motivator, and anytime you change a head coach, it hurts the program a little bit. Now Cody's over at Platte Valley.
And that's real interesting to see how that'll go.
I'm telling you, you watch out. Platte Valley's going to be an up-and-comer and some quality athletes over there, and Cody just needed some good clay to work with.
Well, they've been tough for a long time. Or it always seemed like they were tough.
Right.
We were always banging heads with them. Easton Ramirez, head coach for University High. There's a shot by Bryce Thomas. Gets caught way underneath. He gives up on that.
Prini kind of went into a front headlock and reached across and grabbed his elbow like she's going to go for a butcher, like you might do off of a crossface, and it made him bail out of that single leg shot.
Yeah, at least he felt it coming and got out of there.
Yep, if he had held on to that, she could have definitely twisted him over, worked around the front of his head, and maybe put him on his back. But, you know, it looks like he's starting to get a little heavy-footed on his front leg, and I think conditioning might be starting to wear on him a little bit.
Down to 20 seconds left here in the second period.
Thomas is doing a good job of keeping his back in the middle, though. You know, she worked her way to the edge, trying to use that strategy of wrestling the edge, but he didn't fall for it. He backed back to the middle.
It's going to be still the third period. No score here in the second period. Still 2-0 for Bryce Thomas.
Yep, and he chose down, so all he has to do is stay off his back and make it look good, and he should be able to pull out a win here.
Does a good job of that 2-on-1 and brought him back down.
One of the new rules is when they get back to their feet, if they have that hand controlled, they have to watch out how they return them back to the mat, but she did a good job with that back heel trip. Bryce Thomas was able to get that escape there, so now he's up 3-0, and he just picked up a takedown. She took a bad shot. He snapped her down and just went behind her.
And now he's up 5-0. Oh, she reached back for a headlock. Bryce kind of shook that off. Gets back, goes to the other side. Down to a minute to go in the JV match, our first match of this year at home.
And Coach Quinlan's first inaugural match as a head coach for the Diggers. Thomas is doing a good job of riding that stubby. He's got some weight on his knees there. He reached across and blocked her far knee and was able to break her down to her belly. Now he's on top and he's on his knees a little bit. He's got to get up on his toes and keep pressure on her so she can't work back up to her base. Then she was able to get up to her knees there. Still trying to work her arms out of it.
He's trying to roll those wrists back under, but oh, there comes a half Nelson. Oh, drives her over to her back. She's squirming around. It's going to get criteria. There's 2 near fall points.
You bet you. He had that stubby. He got that half Nelson and flipped her over. Just took him a while to get the courage to go for it.
So 7-0 for Bryce Thomas for the Beat Diggers. And they'll pick up the first victory. Let's take a short timeout on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Welcome back. And the Beat Diggers making their way into the gym as they circle in and running laps around the mat. Led by Caleb Cox.
They're looking pretty sporty in their new warm-ups. They got those cotton hoods and then some nice boxer sort of fight shorts. Looks like some gray and Beat Digger cardinal and gold.
Yeah, it looks like they almost got into their shorts too far.
But pretty sharp.
And good evening and welcome to Brush High School.
The University gathers on the far side.
University Bulldogs. And your Brush Beat Digger.
And I heard they had a little trouble with some of the kids and their short.
Yeah, we're going to have a few forfeits tonight. It sounds like they had some kids get in trouble, so they're suspended for tonight. So we're going to look at 4 or 5 forfeits. There's still going to be some good matches. Diggers are lined up on our side here like they have traditionally with the mat lamp on. It's dark and shiny out in the middle. And University waiting the handshake. They're over there in their corner and kind of in a huddle getting ready to send their guy out.
And I didn't hear where we're starting, but we'll find out real shortly. know if we're going to have a national anthem or something, or everybody's looking
Ladies
around.
and gentlemen, would you
Oh,
please
here we
rise
go.
and move your hats, place your hands over your heart.
Pledge of Allegiance.
National anthem, as it will be performed on the courtesy of a U.S. military band.
Okay, well, please take a 1-minute timeout on 1010 KSIR.
Caleb Cox.
Okay, and welcome back to the Digger Dome as Brian Quintana was led it off for the Beat Diggers. He'll receive a forfeit at 106. Caleb Cox just introduced to Esteban Molina, freshman for University. And maybe you can hear Colin Cole will be going against Danner Strausheim.
126-pound weight class from University, Josh Anderson.
Okay.
And for your Beat Diggers, Jason Weisman.
Jason Weisman will go against Josh Anderson from University at 126 pounds.
132-pound weight class.
At 132,
Jacob Dieterle.
Jacob Dieterle for University against
Oswaldo
Oswaldo Nunez. And Josiah Lura will take on Brush's Ricky Mendez.
Josiah Luera. And for your Beat Diggers, Ricky Mendez. $145-pound weight class will be open for University.
Diggers are just loaded with a bunch of younger guys. Really, the only senior in the lineup is Jaron Peterson. Jaron comes back off of a great year last year. But the rest of these Diggers are mostly sophomores and juniors and a couple of freshmen.
Yeah, they're still young.
Yep, you're looking at a lot of times you say you're going to be rebuilding, but I'm telling you, these are some tough young kids. This is just a reloaded team, and one of those teams you love to coach because you know you're just going out and surprise everybody.
Yeah. Wyatt Holder will receive a forfeit at 145, and Wyatt Fowl for the Beat Diggers. 152 will also get a forfeit.
160-pound weight class from University, freshman Logan Ray. And for your Beat Diggers, Jaron Peterson.
Jaron Peterson, like I said, at 160, takes on Logan Ray.
Will be open for University. And for your Beat Diggers, Chase Barnett.
Chase Barnett, let's see. What grade's he in?
In the 200
called that name a few times, but
from University, junior Ben Anderson.
Now he's a sophomore.
only a sophomore.
Yeah, our two seniors are Jason Weisman and Jaron Peterson.
Right.
That is the correction. He was bumped up.
Okay, nobody at 182. Oops.
And for your Beat Diggers, Josiah Fuentes.
Josiah Fuentes will go against Caleb
And then the
Mesmer.
285-pound weight class from University senior Caleb.
I didn't do
Meester.
that. I didn't pronounce that right. I can't remember. One of the moms told me, but it's not quite that way. And at 285, Benny Mays will get a forfeit. So we'll get the captains out there. There we go.
Sorry, we have troubles with our sound system as we're getting it figured out. So
Okay, they're working on the sound system. And our Beat Digger starting lineup is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan, proud to be Northeastern Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan. With locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush, they're available 24/7 for your banking needs.
Say the captains out there: Wyatt Fowl, Colin Cole, Caleb Cox, and looks like that Mendez. They're out there for that coin flip.
Okay.
Decide who gets to have choice. That's what it boils down to: is who gets to choose first, who's odd and even, and sometimes that sets the stage for these duels. You know, sometimes you have to make that decision because you want to make sure that your guy has choice in that tough match. Because every duel seems like always has that one or two matches that's going to have a big bearing on how things get seeded at the regional tournament.
That's the kind of things that keep coaches awake at night, right?
Oh man, you worry about those things. And you know what's funny? A lot of times you prepare that and you think about it, and then the kids end up taking care of business just like they should anyway.
Yeah, wasted all that effort.
All that worry for nothing.
Okay. Brian Quintana picks up the forfeit win.
And Caleb Cox spent a lot of time in the offseason getting ready for this year. He's one of the top kids in the state for sure at 113 pounds. He wrestled up at Fargo. He's done a lot of work at in freestyle with the cadet teams and the freestyle team. So he's definitely ready for the challenge this year.
He's right out with a takedown.
Yeah, he shot a really nice double leg, just a touch and go. Shot him right from the middle of the mat. It was about a 5-yard shot. And just got right back to his feet and put him down on the mat. Didn't spend any time on his knees.
There's just good old half Nelson he's driving.
Yeah, he had that far wrist with his left hand, used his right hand to just drive right over the top of his head. And now he's kind of calf throwing him. He's having a hard time getting him over. He ratcheted back and just flipped him over. Got the big pin.
Okay, and that comes 32 seconds into the match for Caleb.
Holy cow, man. He just went out there and ripped into him.
Did.
Looked like he was going to tear his shoulder off. He was driving that half so hard the kid's elbow was almost reaching over to his far ear.
And Molina actually looks bigger. Caleb's not a big 113-pounder.
Yeah, I'm sure he had to cut some weight to get there, but he's a guy that wrestling's his number one thing, and he knows he's been training for this, all year, basically 12 months, and he knows where his weight is. He knows what he has to do to perform at that highest level.
His dad was a state placer for the Beat Diggers years ago. Oh, a little nice head and heel by Colin Cole right off the whistle.
Man, it looked a lot like a Cale Sanderson head and heel. He used his right hand to tie his head and then reached down with his left hand and picked him right on his ankle. Now he's running that head lever. He lost control of it. He was circling around the front, lost that half, and he had to circle back behind him. And now he just had to cut him because the kid kept spinning around. He wasn't able to stay behind his hips, and he did a good job of cutting him for one rather than getting sloppy and giving up a 2-point reversal. Just shot in on a really nice double leg, got his head up in the middle, was able to pull down on one knee, push up on the other, and come out the back door for 2 points. Now he's got that half Nelson and a far wrist, but those Diggers are really after these guys, putting a lot of pressure on the top of them, up on their shoulders. Got that head lever right into a half Nelson. He's got him on his back. The referee's counting. There's the counts he needed. He's got the 3 points in his pocket. Kid's bridging for his life.
Bridging hard. That's Tanner Strassheim from University, and okay, there's the pin. Took a little bit longer. Minute 7.
Collins, another one, put in a lot of work in the offseason. Did some wrestling out in Iowa, and then he came back and went to several camps. He went to a camp with the Diggers. He went to camps with Fort Morgan, with Platte Valley. Just went wherever he had to go to get extra matches this summer. And you can see that's already paying off for him this year.
Well, Jason Weisman's got to be one of the tallest 126-pounders out in the state.
Yeah, and what's neat about him? Remember when he was a freshman, he had to take a lot of whoopings because he was so small. But now he's a legitimate 126-pounder, and hopefully he's going to make this a senior year that he's going to be proud of.
He's been a fun kid to watch because he gives you everything he's got.
He's so long. That kid just shot in on a high crotch with his right hand. His head was on the inside, but he didn't follow through. Weisman got that crossface, started hooking up a cradle, but he tried to suicide cradle and he lost it. Luckily, the kid didn't get his arm through and catch him on his back. They both ended up back on their feet and going to go back to the middle for a fresh start.
Well, there's a reason they call that suicide cradle. He thought he was in trouble, but he felt it and got the heck out of there.
Yeah, but when you're long like that and you're able to get that crossface and even reach around and hook that cradle up, at some point in time, if he's able to sprawl back and get his leg free, he's going to pick up a lot of takedowns and back points off other people's shots as the year wears on.
Josh Anderson's a sophomore. I think I watched him last year, and he did pretty good.
Weisman's in on his knees. He's got his left hand wrapped around his thigh, but the University kid was working around the corner on him, and luckily they went out of bounds before Jason gave up a takedown. Oh, Anderson took a shot right on the whistle. He's deep in on Weisman. He got the single leg. He chipped him backwards, but Weisman did a good job hooking up that front corner. He's still sprawling. He's not squaring up, though. He's around the corner. Now they're facing each other. Weisman still got that front quarter. He's circling around. He needs to just shuck him and go behind him. But he's holding on to that front quarter. He's getting ready to lose it. They're both back up to their feet. Weisman goes back in for a shot on his single leg. Now he's in on his knees. Anderson's got a crossface and an ankle on him, and now it's just a matter of time before Anderson picks up that takedown. But Weisman's doing a good job of holding that leg. He's not giving it up yet. Now they're facing each other again. Both of them on their knees. Anderson's got that front headlock, and he's got that near knee like he's going for a near side cradle. But Weisman's got a hold of his thigh, and he's got a hold of his elbow like he's going for a short carry. So it's just a battle right now.
Anderson tried to step over him, but they call a stalemate with 8 seconds left in the first period. A lot of action.
That was a lot of fun action there. Weisman's got to get down in position, though, at the start, because that kid almost took a shot again on the whistle, and he wasn't ready.
No score in the first period. Here at 126. Jason Weisman for the Beet Diggers against Josh Anderson, the sophomore from the university.
And Anderson shows down. It was his choice. So he's down. Weisman's going to load him over on the right side. You say the wrong side. He had to drop down on a leg already. So Anderson tried to stand up, so instead of giving away the point, Weisman went ahead and dropped down on a leg. Now they're back into that same position they were before, where Weisman's got a single leg. Anderson's basically sprawling on top.
Oh, nice job. Weisman, I thought he was going to get him in maybe a bow and arrow cradle there for a second, but staying with a single leg and a trip.
Yeah, Weisman still got a hold of that leg, but the kid's circling around behind him, and he's trying to put the leg in on Weisman. He's got one leg wrapped around, and now he's behind him. They're in a crab ride position. Weisman's still got his ankle, so the official, Dave Ritchie, hasn't given away any points yet. He's still giving Weisman credit, even though Anderson's basically on top. Weisman needs to go for a Gazzoni there. He's coming out the back door. He's going for his head. Anderson's trying to get the legs in. He's trying to get on top. He's trying to reach around with his right leg and get both legs in and stretch Weisman out. Finally in a point. There's a point for Anderson. Boy, that was a scramble. It lasted forever. But Weisman's like that. Boy, he doesn't give up on anything. It doesn't matter how tired he gets. He just keeps going.
They're on their feet. That was a bad shot by Weisman. Is way too far away.
Yeah, he dove in on his belly, didn't he?
Yeah.
He just took a shot. Everybody's yelling, shoot, shoot. But that's like kicking the ball off in football and running off the field and letting the other team run it back for a touchdown. He just gave it away.
Ouch. Now he's down 3-0 after the takedown.
Yeah.
He's about to get stacked up here.
Yeah, that kid's trying to work that tilt action too. He's got Weisman's right wrist. He's got it wrapped around his belly. And boy, that tilt stuff's just huge. Alamosa brought that into the state 20 years ago, and now everybody's doing it.
Weisman's choice. He's going to take down.
So Weisman, he's already set on bottom. Like you said, he looks huge. He's a good 4 or 5 inches taller than Anderson. Goes for a switch right on the whistle. Anderson picked his far ankle, though, and stepped back over the top. Weisman's still grabbing hold of that leg, and Anderson's got a stubby on this side. So Weisman's got a leg on that side. That kid's got a stubby leg. He's got his, I say stubby, I mean he's got his leg wrapped around Weisman's ankle, and Weisman's just trapped right there. That kid jammed his right arm and broke him down to his belly. But Weisman's still working up. He's not getting hand control, and the kid just keeps jamming him down to his shoulder, trying to weave that arm bar in. He's got his wrist, and he's trying to get that arm bar. Now he gave up on that, and he just sunk a lot deeper, tight waist to try to squeeze the juice out of Weisman.
Oh, so he's got a cradle locked up there.
And he set that crossface, hooked up the cradle. Now he's got Weisman on his back. Weisman's kicking. The kid doesn't have his knee in his side, so it's going to be hard for him to pin Weisman right there. He did reach over the top and trap his knee, though. Weisman's in trouble.
55 seconds and 4/10, and the pin goes the other way. Let's take 30 seconds. We'll be back with more on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Okay, and we're back, and there's a pin. 15 seconds into the match. Osvaldo Nunez.
Yeah, Nunez just went in there. He shot in on a double leg right away and took him down in a hurry. As soon as he took him down, he went right for that half Nelson. That's what you got to do. Score points right after a point's been scored and put him on his back with a really deep half Nelson. There was nothing Dooley could do. Nice job
And
there
your
for
beat digger,
Nunez.
Ricky Mendez.
Yeah, Ricky Mendez will take on Josiah Lura. Lura, sophomore.
Now Nunez and Mendez are both, they have a similar body type, real tall but strong looking, a lot taller than most of the guys they'll wrestle this year, but just really strong upper bodies and good legs underneath of them, and both of them seem really athletic. Right here Mendez just keeps changing sides between his right hand and his left hand, just pounding that kid's head and trying to wear him out as he works into a Russian tie here. He goes in for a shot on his right leg single. He wasn't able to get it, and they come back out, and they're both facing each other.
Mendez is a junior, Laura sophomore for University.
Laura kind of wrestled with that southpaw stance, taking some really big steps. Mendez shoots in as soon as he timed it, shot in and took the step, came out the back door and got the 2, and now here he goes with the wrist and a half.
Laura's on his back. He's got it sunk in there deep. A lot of kicking and squirming there by Josiah Laura.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mendez is just strong. Look how big he is. He's just stretched out over the top. He's belly to chest, not chest to chest. Gets the big pin.
Okay, minute 4 on that one.
Makes the score 30-6 in favor of Brush.
Wow. Wyatt Holdren will pick up a forfeit at 1:45, so let's take 30 seconds and we'll be back with Jaron Peterson. Let's just hold it here. Okay, we jumped through 1:45 and 52s with forfeits, and Jaron Peterson kicks it off. Senior against a freshman. Jaron going against Logan Ray.
And he shoots in, he gets that single leg, used his head tie, gets a single leg and puts him right on the back again with another half. And that kid's bridging, he's trying to get out of bounds, but Peterson turned him around so that the only way he could bridge is right back towards the middle of the mat. And there's a pin again.
20 seconds.
And 48-6 for the Diggers now, as they're just destroying University on Coach Quinlan's inaugural dual night.
Oh, wow, they come in undermanned, and nobody's going to give you a break. Chase Barnett steps out to pick up another 6 points. There's no opponent for Chase. So now we're up to, 54-6.
Yep.
No scoring here at 182 because neither team has a wrestler. 140-95. Nobody for the beat.
Yep, so Ben Anderson at 195 for University got the forfeit, made it 54-12. Now our first match again. Josiah Fuentes against, what's this kid's name? Caleb Menzner, huh?
Oh, we're at
220.
Yeah. Caleb Mesmer, Josiah Fuentes. We're 54-6 on the team side.
Now these guys' body type's a lot different. Mesner's, he's a real stocky kid, but strong looking. He's got a little bit of a height advantage over Josiah. But Josiah's in there hand fighting and fighting him really tough. His back's towards the center of the match. He goes for a headlock. It's not there, and he back out. And Mesner's chasing him around the mat a little bit. They're on the edge. Mesner circled to the edge of the mat. Josiah's fighting for hand control. Mesner stays right on the edge of the circle. Josiah's circled to the edge of the mat. Now they're both working their way back to the middle. Still hand fighting.
Saying Mesner's a senior.
He looks like it.
I didn't see Anderson get his points, but they didn't give the 195 points, so there's no points there. I don't know if they traded kids on us.
Oh.
Bad headlock.
Yep, Josiah tried to headlock, and he was trying to force it. Sometimes that happens. Guys want to make something happen, especially these young boys think somebody's got to take a shot. They have to learn that doesn't have to happen. They can end the period 0-0. But he went for it and paid the price. So it's actually 54-6, huh?
2-0 with the takedown. And it's still 54-6. So I don't know if they bumped somebody around.
That kid's got a leg in.
Maybe they bumped Mesner and going to bump or bumped Anderson up here and then going wrestle Mesner against Benny Mason.
Yeah, I bet you're right. I bet you that's what's happening. Well, I'll tell you what, if this Anderson kid, that's who it is.
I think it might be.
Yep, he had a leg in, and he had his right leg in, and he knows how to ride those legs. He was trying to go into a Turk on Josiah. They were right here on the edge of the mat, and Josiah fought that off well by lip-legging his leg out of there. They broke him down. Anderson broke him down. He's trying to get hand control. He's chopping the arm, but there he goes. He put the leg in again. This time it's his left leg. It's a high leg situation. He's almost got an over scissor, though. Josiah crawled forward and got his leg out of that mess, so he doesn't have to worry about it. But now the kid got an arm bar, and he's working his way out in front.
Well, just fought that off.
Yeah, you know, he kept moving, and he was changing directions, and Anderson ended up getting nothing out of the deal.
Be Josiah's choice. He defers. University wrestler take down. We think that's Ben Anderson.
Well, he chooses down, and Josiah gets on top over here on the left side. He gets on in wrong position. He needed to have his left knee down and his right leg up. There, the coach has talked him through it.
Josiah, sophomore.
Oh, he pulled him back down on top of himself. Now the kid's going for a headlock off the bottom. They both get a stand up. Now Anderson's up. Gets the takedown right there on the edge of the mat. Goes up 5-0. Anderson's winning. Josiah's trying to get some hand control there right on the edge. Half their body's inbounds and half their body's out of bounds. There's a huge... There was a huge crossface.
A little too huge.
Yep.
That's going to be a penalty point.
Yeah, that's going to cost him.
He kind of swung that in from left field.
Yeah, you got to respect that. I like to see it when guys get physical like that. Now their coach is going to come over and argue the point. But, you know, that's a judgment call. He really shouldn't be able to come over to the mat and question that.
Okay. Coach has always got to protect your wrestler, though, right?
I guess.
You never did that, did you?
No.
Okay, Fuentes trying to set out there.
Yep, he got that set out, but the kid just kept driving that deep waist around the corner and was able to break him down to his side and his belly, and now Fuentes had to work back up to his base again, and there goes another sit out. He's back on his belly again, and Anderson's just driving his right shoulder into the middle of his back, putting a lot of weight on him so he can't come up. Anderson's trying to get that arm bar over here on the left side. But he isn't getting the arm up on his back. Fuentes is able to keep his hand out in front of himself. Keeps him from being able to pull that arm bar back where he wanted it, so he doesn't go to his back.
Kind of got almost a barbed wire look, but doesn't have the right arm.
Yeah. Now that Anderson, he's got that leg in again, and he's trying to do this Turk, and he's got his hips over the top, and he's sure working his arm around the corner, and now there's back points. Nope.
Did a couple 1 counts.
You know, Fuentes is doing a good job of fighting that hand control up there around his head. He's able to belly down and not give up a single point.
You can tell he's real inexperienced, but he's a fighter out there. So that's always good. Early in the season.
I've had the occasion to watch him with his little brother at some Pee Wee stuff, and he's really excited. You know, it seems like a kid with a good attitude and a kid that wants to work hard.
You can't ask for more than that. You get the competitors, you can work on the technique.
That's right.
Okay. Into the third period, 5-1 for the University wrestler.
So Josiah chooses both up. Dave Ritchie, the referee, pulls them back to the middle, and they step on the line, and he's going to blow the whistle and get them going. Josiah's got to get a throw here. He's going to have to do something big to score the points he needs to win. He's down by 4.
A hard snap down by Anderson, and that'll give him the takedown.
Yeah.
He spins around behind.
Josiah just got his head down, and after he snapped him down, there wasn't any way he could defend that, and the kid just kind of walked around behind him. But here he goes going after that sit-out again, and it's just not real effective for him.
Needs to clear that wrist if he can.
Yeah, he's getting a little extended on his sit-out, too. His feet are too far away from his head. You got to stay in the ball when you sit out and turn.
The mean hammerlock there by Anderson. A little high there.
He's driving that arm across. Josiah's in trouble.
And going for the pin is Ben Anderson from University.
Back points are there. He's got his 3 back points. Now Josiah's just got to fight it for a minute, 59 seconds. He's got to fight it and not give up the pin.
Oh, man, there goes the pin for University wrestler that we think is Ben Anderson. And that comes at 4:05. 5:05 in the match. I can't count that high.
Well, you're right. They're bringing a...
185-pound weight class senior from
And that's always tough for a wrestler to...
From your beat diggers,
You look at the roster and say, no, nobody's there. And you're not. Then you got to go out there and wrestle somebody. So that's going to happen to Vinnie Mason.
Yep. Meansner, I'll tell you what, he is a... Look at those legs. That guy's got some tree trunks down there. Just a really strong-looking kid. Big old traps, big old shoulders. Just strong-looking.
Well, he weighed in at 220, so Vinnie looks like he might be a little bit more than that, but there's not a huge difference in their body styles or height.
I'm glad University bumped those 2 kids up, though. You know, it's,
Yeah,
you drive all that way, you might as well wrestle.
Yes, gives us another match. Good competition.
Vinnie Mays is just kind of pushing him back and forth and around. He's got a right hand, collar and elbow tie up, and now he's working into a Russian over here on the left side. And Menzner just keeps pounding him on the back of the head with his left hand, just trying to drop him. Boy, he's physical, but Vinnie's not taking any business from him. He's throwing the punches right back. Menzner takes a high crotch shot. He gets in there and takes him down. Shut in on a high crotch on Vinnie's right leg and turned the corner, and he just picked him up with one leg. He didn't even go to a double. 57 seconds. Vinnie's got to get out of there and try to score some points before this period's over.
University wrestler with a 2-point lead.
Menzner's going for that stubby. He tries to trap his ankle to help hold him down and was able to chop Vinnie's arm and break him down to his belly.
Menzner's a senior, too.
Vinnie's trying to get one of his legs up to get around behind, but Menzner's got those one-on-ones. He's getting out to the side trying to lift that elbow up and drive around the corner like you do with the head lever and just try to put him on his back.
Talk about a tough position to be as a heavyweight as a freshman. You got to go against a senior. Yeah.
Most of those guys have paid their prices just like he's paying his price now, and so they know how to do to him what was done to them a lot of times.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a high chicken wing in there. They call it potentially dangerous. I think he didn't put a whole lot of pressure on it. So
Nah,
he didn't call the penalty on it.
Yeah, he just slid his hand got slid up onto his shoulder blade, and so Dave Ritchie stopped it, which is what he needed to do. And no matter, that first period's over. We're only down 2-0. They chose both up, so here we go again. Vinnie's pounding his head. He reaches up, gets that collar and elbow with his left hand, and changed over to his right hand and doing some hand fighting out there.
Big guy's going at it a little bit there with working for that inside control.
Vinnie's pressuring him, pushed him right over to the edge of the mat, and Menzner's just backing up. There needs to be a stall call made there when a kid backs up like that. Everybody's yelling, take a shot. He went for that Prescott right there, just tried that little throw by, and it wasn't there. And now you can see what the University wrestler's been trying to do. He's trying to just get into that Greco sort of throwing position, and he just ducked under his arm and went behind him for a 2-point takedown. And now Vinnie's back on his belly. Menzner's working for that stubby on top, cross face. He's got Vinnie broke down to his belly again.
You can tell Vinnie's paying attention in practice when he throws that Prescott.
Right.
You don't see that from rookies very often.
No. And he masters that. That'll be a great move. Now that kid's out to the side with the power half. Really putting a lot of weight on the back of Vinnie's head, but Vinnie's got his elbow down and he's trying to look away from that half. He's not giving it up. But he just got called for stalling because he's got both elbows tucked underneath his chest, and he's not giving that kid any chance to advance, and he's not working off the bottom. And if he doesn't watch out, he's going to get called for stalling again and give up another point. Kid went for a right-handed half Nelson, then a left-handed half Nelson, and ended up giving up a full Nelson. So Vinnie got his first point of the match, 4-1.
Let's start with Vinnie on the bottom here. 22 and a half seconds left in the second period.
Oh, he goes for a switch. It's not there. He comes back around. The kid cross-faced him back over to his belly, circled around behind him, and now he's just digging his toes in and putting a lot of weight up there on Vinny's shoulders, not letting him come up as he works for wrist control. Again, Vinny's head's down, and he's got his left elbow tucked underneath his belly where that kid's got a hold of his wrist, and the kid's got a leg in, a high leg series, and trying to Turk him over.
Okay, 4-1 for University as we head into the third period in our last match of the night.
So Vinny's down, bottom position, losing 4-1. Tripod's up, goes for a sit out again, but nothing worked there, and he's back in there in that same position on his knees with his head down.
I think the mother up there told me it's Miesmer.
Miesmer.
Yeah.
That Miesmer's a strong kid, boy, just a physical specimen.
It's a big kid. Yeah. Tell he's got a little age on Vinny. Might have got away with locked hands there.
Yeah, Vinny just tripod up, but then that kid locked his hands around his waist and pulled him back around the corner. Well, if you have your hands down on the mat, that's considered down position. Should have been a locking penalty. Miesmer jumped into that half Nelson. Now Vinny's on his back.
He's in trouble. 113 and counting. And there's another pin for University.
And that ends the duel.
4:51 in the match. Okay, let's see what we got for scoring. 54-18. University coming back at the end.
Just a nice duel, though, for the Diggers tonight. They look pretty good on their feet. You know, their older kids were real aggressive, and they blew the whistle. And especially you look in there, those guys in those middleweights, look in there at Nunez and Mendez, those guys didn't waste any time. They just shook hands and took shots right away and showed how aggressive they're going to be this year.
And we didn't get to see the two Wyatts wrestling, along with Chase Barnett. They all got forfeits, along with Brian Quintana at the little guys. I don't think he's anywhere near 106. But
no, I hear he's right around 90.
Is he around?
Yeah. But, you know, he's tough. He's got a lot of mat time behind him, and you know what he's famous for is circling around out in front and trying to get that snake, work out of that twister position. So he gives up some position to get out in front of people. When it works for him, it works great. But he'll have to learn to wrestle from behind a little bit too.
Okay. Thought we might get another match there, but it looks like they're just talking over strategy out there. So let's take a short timeout. We'll come back and do our post game on 1010, KSIR, and KSIR.com. Like an
individual tournament.
Individual tournament.
Yep, individual
We're used
tournament.
to the team
Bracketed.
tournament kick off the year, but you're not doing that this year.
No, we went ahead and we're going with our individual, and then headed to UNC the week after that instead. So
that's going to be a big, huge tournament again. They get the guys all toughened up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Before Christmas.
Yep. Get some more tough competition in there.
So who all you got coming in?
We have Brush. We're going to get all our kids in, varsity and JVs, and then we're going to have University, Highland, Swink, and we're waiting on a couple other teams to hear back. I don't remember who we're going to have. Everybody's dropping out on us. They said they got double booked and stuff like that. So I know we're going to have at least 6 teams, but I'm not 100% sure who it's going to be yet. So, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that scheduling gets to be a nightmare.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sure you're learning all that.
Yep, definitely. One of the struggles.
Well, this is your first head coaching gig.
Yep.
But I think when you were a sophomore in high school, I said you were coaching all the time on the mat. So
yep.
It's not something that you're totally unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
And got some good guys helping you out.
Yes, absolutely. Our staff is amazing. You know, we got Chad Cox and Brady Walter, Richie Grauberger, Daniel Harrell, Cody Fow. So our staff is extremely talented and knowledgeable, and you know it's great to have that many great coaches in the room because one guy can only do so much. So without them, none of this would be possible.
Oh yeah, you got an international wrestler.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, she's a girl, but I mean,
Yep,
she's
yep.
tougher
Cody,
than males.
Cody's a two-time college champion, and she's on the international scene and competing all the time at the U.S. Open and all the other big tournaments. So that's great to have someone with that much experience and knowledge in the room.
I think, remembering back, I think she was the first girl to win a match at state.
I believe so. Yep.
And just really tough. So
Oh yeah.
it'd be tough to have a sister that's a little more successful than for the Val boys. That's quite a deal.
Yep.
to
Gives
have
them
a
something to
sister
work
that
for
tough,
sure.
you know?
Yep. Yep.
Well, it's been quite a ride for you.
Yeah.
For the KSR family, we've been thinking about you.
Thank you.
had a
Thank you.
tough start to this year.
Yeah. Yep.
Losing your dad, Barry, a two-time state champion for the Beat Diggers. Great guy. And we'll sure miss him.
Yep.
Okay, back to the wrestlers. Well, Brian Cantana got you a 4-foot at 106.
Yep.
He's about the size that Caleb was a couple
Yeah,
years
yeah. He's pushing 90 now. Trying to get him a little bit bigger, but even being lighter than everybody else, he never makes an excuse. Always works hard and always battling, and I expect some pretty good things from him this year.
And of course, Caleb, he's spent a lot of work in the off season.
Yep, absolutely, yeah. And actually, there's a new website, or I guess it's not new, it's relatively new, Inside Colorado Wrestling, and I was just informed right before the duel that he was chosen by them as the Colorado Wrestler of the Week for the state of Colorado. So, that was a pretty good honor for Caleb, considering how tough Colorado is now and how many great wrestlers we have out there. For him to get an award like that, speaks a lot for all he does in the off season and how hard he works in the room also. So.
Okay. Of course, his dad, too, on your coaching
Yep.
team. And
Yep.
he was a state placer for the Beat Diggers back in the day.
Yep.
What, about 85 somewhere?
88.
88.
88. Yep.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Yep.
And he still got ripped off because he got called for tugging on a jersey. We caught his thumb in a guy's jersey.
Yeah.
That was bad. You were a little kid then.
I was just being born.
Okay, then Colin Cole.
Colin, Colin's the same way. He put in a ton of matches this summer. There was a team in the area going to a dual tournament or something. He was hopping in along with them, and I think he got close to 50 or 60 matches this summer, and that's really showed here so far. So
he gets a lot of that family pressure too. With two
Yep.
brothers
Yep.
being state champs.
Yep, two successful brothers. I know they push him a lot, and he's really starting to grow and excel on his own. So
And he picks up a pin at 107. Strausheim.
yep,
Strausheim. It's another tough one. Okay, then Oswaldo at 132. Well, excuse me, I jumped
Wiesman.
over Jason Wiesman. But
Yep.
he battled a pretty good kid in that, Josh.
yeah, he did. That kid's pretty tough, And Jason went down to Akron for us last week on our JVs and had a pretty good tournament. He's just really tall and lanky, and sometimes gets in bad positions. Not realizing exactly how tall he is. So that's something he's going to have to work on. But once he figures out how to work with his length, he'll be great. Wrestling Caleb and Colin every day in the room. So I expect him to be pretty successful for us this year also.
Yeah, Dave and I were talking about the competitive, and he's as competitive
Absolutely.
as anybody.
Yep. Absolutely.
Then we jumped to Oswaldo. He's had a tragedy in his family, too.
Yep.
So you guys it's really tough losing your dads.
Mm-hmm.
And he took on Jacob Dieterle with a 15-second pin. So
Yeah. Oswaldo's a little fireball. He goes out there 100% all the time, and he smells blood and he finishes the match right away.
yeah, it's got to be fun to have.
Yep.
The next 3 or 4 or 5 guys that just banging heads. And
Oh yeah. Yep. From 32s to 60s, we're pretty tight in there, and we got a lot of tough quality kids, and every day's a battle with them. No one wants to give an inch, and it's always a great practice room.
Well, I think Jason Holdren told me you had about 18 of them. They're within about 10 pounds of each other.
Yep. It's pretty tight. Pretty tight.
You got a tight, full room, except they all weigh the same.
Yeah.
That hits. And, of course, Ricky Mendez, Jr., with the 104 pin.
Yep, Ricky's coming on. Ricky's coming on pretty good. He finished pretty good for us last year at regionals, and kind of picked up right where he left off. And he's, I think he's still pretty new to wrestling, but it doesn't seem to make a difference to him because he's always going too. He'll end up in some pretty weird positions, but he's never going to quit. And he'll battle through anything. And tonight he set up a pretty good shot and put the kid to his back and finished it right away. So that was nice for him.
There's the Dieterle family from University heading out. Then Wyatt Holder and Wyatt Fowl didn't get to wrestle. I would love to watch them wrestle.
Yeah, it's always tough when you get a forfeit. You don't get to go out there and work on stuff. But all the kids that didn't get matches tonight, we got a pretty good workout in before the duel started. So it wasn't anything. They didn't miss out on too much.
Oh, good. And then Jaron Peterson only took 20 seconds.
Yep.
For his pin win. And then Chase Barnett picked up a forfeit win for your last points. Got a little rough in the upper weights.
Yeah, we're a little young there, a little less experienced in those upper weights, and the bad thing is that's the only two guys we got at those weights. So Coach Harrell and Coach Roberger and myself and Coach Cox, we try to work in over there and wrestle those guys as much as we can because they just need more mat time. Vinny showed us a lot of great things last weekend down in Rio, but tonight he just had some issues keeping his head off the mat and getting his hands tied up. And once he does that, he'll be pretty successful because last week he did a good job with all that stuff and came out with a winning record down there. And Josiah's the same way. They get caught with their head down and their hands tied up, and it's just something we've got to work on, as a team, making sure that we're always working to build a base and clearing and getting out when we have the chance.
And they're both young.
Yep.
Is it
Josiah's a sophomore and Vinny's a freshman. So
is it Josiah's first year?
No, he wrestled last year also for us.
Okay.
Yep.
But Vinny with that press cut, I thought, whoa, you don't see.
Yeah, he looked like he had that set up pretty well. He kind of just turned the wrong way after he hit it and turned back and backed into the guy, and the guy kind of just snapped him down. So we got to, fine-tune some things and just keep him going, keep him battling.
And then back to the JVs, Bryce Thomas. Your first match at high school level, and you got to wrestle a girl.
Oh, he wrestled for us last week at Akron.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But he had her tonight. She's pretty tough. I've seen her a couple times, and Bryce is another one of our big freshman group that's always working in there, right in that 132 to 138 range. So he's battling with some of the best kids in the state every day, and it's really starting to show for him. How much he's improving day to day and how hard he works all the time.
Well, it's fun and sets you up for this weekend tournament. Everybody needs to come down and support the Beat Diggers.
Yep, absolutely.
It's and we'll have champions.
Yep.
The team tournaments I love them, but it's always fun to see who comes up. The cream rises to the top.
Yep. It's nice to get into a tournament format. Our state tournament and regionals are individual events, so we got to make sure our kids are prepared to wrestle through a bracket, and sit there and wait an hour and wrestle again and wait an hour and wrestle again. So they got to get in that mindset, and this is a good chance to do it here at home, where you're comfortable and wake up in your own bed and eat breakfast and come over and wrestle in front of your fans. So.
And a week from tomorrow, the holiday tournament up at that Budweiser Center.
Yep, Budweiser Event Center. Yep. We've never been back to the UNC since it's at Budweiser, just at Island Grove and there at the campus. So that'll be good. That's almost same setting as the Pepsi Center. Hopefully we'll get quite a few fans up there and get the kids used to making weight 2 days in a row and battling through a big bracket. Some of the toughest kids in the state and in the area. So.
I got to work. Yeah.
That's too bad.
Well, what would you like to
add? Just get out here, follow us. We got a lot of young kids working hard every day. We're always working, always battling. Our goal is to be one of the top teams in the state academically and on the mat. Right now our kids are getting that done in this classroom. We got a our team, one of my team goals, the main team goal this year was to have a 3.0 GPA, and right now, week before finals, we're sitting at 3.12, I think. So kids are getting it done in the classroom, which what counts, and out here getting it done on the mat too. So hopefully we keep, one goes hand in hand with the other. So hopefully we keep the success up in both.
Oh, cool. Oh, and you need to say hi to your cousin.
Oh yeah, that's right. He called me today. Made sure I knew he was going to be listening. So hi, Eric. Thanks for supporting us out there in California.
Okay, that's where he's at now.
Yep.
Is he still acting?
Yep. Acting, comedy, he's doing all that stuff. So.
Hey, thanks, Dave. Dave Urichs bugging out here. Helped us out tonight. Just kind of slipped right on those heads. Probably his headset from football.
Probably.
It's kind of fun to sit here. It's like, wow, Dave knows his stuff.
Oh yeah.
Really good. That was really, really fun to have him step in.
Good.
Well, we'll have to head to the tournament Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning. And if your wife doesn't really want to come down, there's some kind of big
Christmas bazaar
thing out there. And
Yep.
my wife's baking away. There's going to be some good cookies or something.
Oh yeah, I bet.
They better be good.
Yeah.
She brings them home. I
They're gone.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I got to go on a diet.
Get you in
Christmas
trouble.
time,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good job, Coach.
Yep.
I know you need to go in and keep track of the guys.
Yep. Well,
congratulations on
thank
your
you,
job.
Rob. Thanks for supporting us and doing the radio. It's always nice to know that we're one of the only teams in the state that has a radio crew following us around everywhere, broadcasting for all our fans. So I think that's a great thing for Brush that you guys are doing.
Well, Alec and Christy Creighton, we've been blessed to have great owners over the years at the station, and Alec and Christy stepped in a few years and just improved it on, and it's just awesome. And it all goes back to our sponsors.
Yep.
Look at them year after year, Equitable, Ace, Home Center, Buildings by Design, Western Engineering, Stubbs Gas and Oil, State Farm Insurance, Cargill stepping in there this year, about every year, B&B Appliance, Morgan Federal Bank, all these guys. It's just, if you go in there, tell them thanks a lot. I'll run through those when you take off here, because it's just a blessing to have such great support from the community and the businesses. When you go to the big cities, how do you do that? Well, they do it because we got this community of these wonderful people that spend their money for supporting the kids, and it's just awesome.
Love it.
Me too. We're just blessed.
Yes, absolutely.
Who wants to live in a big city anyway?
Nope.
It's just wonderful out here.
Yep.
So, buddy, think about you all the time.
Thanks, Rob.
Hang in there.
Okay,
let's take a short time out. We'll be back with more on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com. Welcome back to the Digger Dome. It's only 7:36. Quick duel, but sometimes those are kind of fun too. We didn't get to all our sponsors. Sorry about that, but it's good to have such great sponsors. I want to talk Brush Beat Diggers post-match show is brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center. 3 locations serve you better: Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. Your headquarters for all your home, farm, ranch supplies, from plumbing to feed, at Mr. D's Home Center. And Buildings by Design. They have the experience to complete your project from start to finish. Get the quality you deserve in your building by starting your build project right. Start it with Buildings by Design. Okay, let's run through the results quickly. Brush versus University. The Beat Diggers win it 54-18. Brian Quintana kicked it off with a forfeit win at 106. Then Caleb Cox with a 32-second pin over Esteban Molina, a freshman from University. Colin Cole at 120. 107 pin over Tanner Strassheim, a freshman from University. Jason Wiesman lost a tough one to Josh Anderson, a sophomore from University. Lost that one by a pin. Osvaldo Nunez came back with a 15-second pin over Jacob Dieterle. And at 138, Ricky Mendez, 104 pin over Josiah Laura. Wyatt Holdren and Wyatt Fowl at 145 and 152 picked up forfeit wins for the Beat Diggers. Then at 160, Jaron Peterson, 22nd pin over Logan Ray, a freshman from University. Chase Barnett at 170. Got a forfeit win. Beat Diggers up 54-6. No wrestlers at 182 or 195. University bumped Ben Anderson up to wrestle Josiah Fuentes, and Anderson got the pin at 505 of their match. And then Caleb Meismer moved up from 220 to heavyweight and wrestled Vinny Meza and got a pin over Vinny at 451. Meismer was a senior and Vinny a freshman for the Beat Diggers at heavyweight. On the JV side is 132 pounds. Bryce Thomas won 7-0 over Andrea Perini from University. Okay, we won't have coverage this weekend, but come down to the Digger Dome, and the Beat Diggers will be wrestling in their tournament. And we'll have University, Highland, Swink, and some more teams here, and it'll be individual type tournament. So I want to thank everybody for listening. Rose for running the board, and of course Western Engineering Consultants, Stubbs Gas and Oil, State Farm Insurance, Greg Mullen and Brush, and Cargill. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at cargill.com. And B&B Appliance, Transwest, new sponsor. They're on the west side of Fort Morgan, and they've got cars in Sterling too, so stop by and check them out. Morgan Federal Bank, Ehrlich Toyota East, Morgan Community College, Ingmar Phillips Insurance, and Northeastern Junior College. They've got wrestling down there too. Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan for all your Napa needs. And I could go on and on. I've got several pages here, but we'll probably get over to our KSR's sports coverage, and we'll be back next week for the Morgan County Triple Duel. I think that's Wednesday. The schedule's right here somewhere. Like everything, right where I left it, and I can't find it right now. But anyway, John Beltran will do his best to get the information out to you, and we'll get to that Triple Duel next week, and that'll be a lot of fun. Fort Morgan and Wiggins, and we'll be from Wiggins this year. So, okay, that does it. Beat Diggers win 54-18 for our first broadcast of the year. We thank you for tuning in to KSIR and KSIR.com. We'll say Beat Diggers 54, University High 18. Good night from the Digger Dome.